Writerly Besties, welcome back to the Writing with Anna new podcast where we talk about all things writing. In today's episode, I am so very excited for this kind of more chill episode where we talk about the projects and books I'm currently writing. And first off, I just want to say thank you that you clicked on this episode and that you actually want to kind of know about my projects and what I'm working on and just the sort of books that I have been writing, during the start of this year. I'm just really excited to share with you all the projects, about them, how I'm going with them, what draft I'm on, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and geek about my books. Okay, so let's get straight into it. The first project, and I guess my priority project, I like to call it, is Project Prison. This project I actually need to finish tonight. I had the goal to finish this project, the draft 0, this month. And I am very close to finishing, but I've not yet finished, so it might go on a bit, a few days or something like that. So I am a little bit stressed about that, but I know it's going to be okay. But this project is a kind of short novella. It's about basically kind of cool. It's about these two characters who are in juvie, and juvie is kind of like a prison for kids, a prison for teenagers, and they end up meeting, and as they get to know each other, they actually realize that they both have forgotten and don't know why they were imprisoned and convicted in the first place. And then it's kind of found out that their cases are linked and that they're there for a reason, sort of thing. And it's an emotional ride. I get really emotional when I'm writing particular scenes, and it's a lot darker than a lot of people think. I also let's take a stand back. I feel like a lot of people think I write wholesome stuff, cute stuff. I definitely used to. Don't get me wrong, I used to write such good, amazing fantasy books, which still have my heart, and I still am thinking of working on them. But these sort of current 3 projects I've been writing, for example, Project Graveyard, Project Prison, of course, and also Project Ghost, those are actually very emotional and kind of dark, honestly. And I think a lot of people think, that I write good, nice stories, but these are emotional, okay? And I am not okay when I write them. I don't know how they come to be, but I feel like a lot of writers might get this, but when you write a book, it's how it is, and you can't change how the plot is because that's the story. It's as if a story is already in you and you're just simply telling it, and that's exactly how I feel with Project Prison, and also how I felt with Project I First Met You in a Graveyard. So these 3 projects are very, very special to me, and I'm just really excited to finish the first 0 draft and then hopefully get on to actually writing it properly. And since it is a short novella, I really hope to get it done by next month. Let's aim for that. Okay. Next project. I am actually working a little bit on Project Graveyard. Also, I talked about that one just previously, but Project I First Met You in a Graveyard is a book. It's basically the first book I finished officially, and my guys, this book makes me emotional. And I think I literally when you have that inkling to go back to an old project and work on it. So I finished the first draft of this project, and now I'm going back because I honestly just missed my characters. I missed Kaido and Amen, and I just needed to see them. I hope you guys maybe know about, those 2 characters. And if you don't know about the story, I'll give you a quick little synopsis. It's basically, look, I only can really tell this story or tell the synopsis through a metaphor. If you know me, if you know Anna, I love metaphors, and I literally speak in metaphors sometimes. But with Project I First Met You in a Graveyard, it's basically Kaido and Amen, they teach each other about life and death, sort of thing. I like to think of it as if Kaido is the one who's lonely and he's chasing the companionship of the moon. Hang with me. And Amen is chasing the warmth of the sun and the liveliness of the sun. And they're both just running around the earth trying to find the moon or the sun. And they never get there because it's impossible, right? But as they're both running around the world, they end up meeting each other. And basically, Amen is a a guy who works in a funeral parlor in his like business, his family business, and he has grown up like surrounded by death. And yeah, he's just like gotten death and like just being around death when Kaido, he has known life and Kaido teaches Amen about life and kind of brings him out of his shell that he's always been in and reminds them through their love, that life can be more than just tradition and following, something that's, I don't know, unfruitful and just, it's so hard to explain. And that's why I love this project so much. You have to like read it to understand it. And also, I just like can't believe you're listening right now to me geek up about my books. It just makes me so excited. And oh my gosh, I just realized, oh my gosh, I really do love Kaido and Amen so much. They mean the world to me. Okay. Sorry, guys. I love them so much. Okay, we got to move on to the next project, but basically with Project Graveyard, I've actually started to write the full-on like first or second draft, basically, and it's making me emotional already. Like, I can't even. So I'm on like the second chapter, like writing it, and it's emotional. Anyways, let's move on to the next project. The next project is actually Project Ghost, which is the project I wrote during NaNoWriMo, which was really, really fun, and I really, really did love it. I've kind of sent it to a few people, including like some of my friends and my family, but like none of them have read it at all. And that's because they're busy, and I know they're busy, and I feel like if I had more writing friends, I could give them my, kind of like what they do when they swap drafts, for example. But I don't have many writer friends who know me that well, so I can't really do that. So if you want to read my draft, please tell me, because the only person who's read it is my beautiful cousin Georgia. I love her so much, and I just was so excited being able to talk to someone who's actually read and even liked my book. Like, what? And it's the first time I've ever sort of pushed out my manuscript to anyone with, like any of my projects, this project, and sorry, my mind is going crazy. I just want to say so many things at once. But the main thing I wanted to say about Project Ghost is the fact that it's so personal to me. And if you guys don't know what it is, little synopsis that I kind of give everyone. And I feel like I was explaining it to a friend today as well in the car. And I'm just like, I will give you the most simplest synopsis, or else I will just go on a tangent and tell you the whole story. And he's like, okay. And basically that synopsis is, there's a girl named Red who meets 4 ghost boys, and that's all I can say. And it's kind of a ghost story, but it's really, really emotional, and it has a big part of me in it. And I feel like something that's really special about this book is the fact that different people can have different takes on it and can relate to it in different ways. And I feel like, I don't know, the people I've sent it to, it is a little discouraging. I mean, I can't really, fake that. It is discouraging having no one actually be excited. I mean, like, yes, they're excited, like my friends and my 2 sisters, for example, but it's still just, I don't know. I just felt like wow, this is getting really deep. No, sorry. I just like, no, but like, yeah, I just wish there was more time for people, I don't know, to just realize how much, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I just feel a little bit disappointed in myself in thinking that, and like putting the expectation on other people who don't necessarily read, that don't necessarily write, that have their own lives and their own hobbies, and they don't know how passionate I really am about not only writing, but this particular project, and how freaking much I put myself in this book. I don't have my period, but I'm getting really emotional. I think I'm getting my period. TMI. But holy heck, like, man, why won't people read my book? Because it's like one thing to give a book to a stranger and expect them to read it, but I think it's even more of a thing to give it to a friend or a family member and expect them to read it. And when they don't, man, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I hope to kind of do a video about this because, yeah, I'm fine. Like, don't worry, guys. Like, I am going strong. I feel like just revoking my invitation for people to read it because it's not doing well for my self-esteem in my writing. And of course, I should be more patient, but I just feel like it doesn't really matter. I'm still a young writer, and to expect that, I know it's not the best draft I can give, I guess, but still, I think I want to work on it more without having the pressure of other people not read. It's interesting. Like there's more of a pressure of them not reading it than them. Anyway, sorry, guys. I'm moving on. Moving on. The last project I nearly worked on. Okay, so this is the last one. Is when. Okay, what actually inspired this? Yes, this is sort of like a shiny idea, that sort of project where it's just like I really want to write this because it's a shiny new idea and I want to see how it goes. This sort of project I think I will eventually write, but it's so ridiculously ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous and I can't actually plan it because I don't have the actual research like brain. I can't. It's about time travel. Basically, it's about time travel. And I don't know, I was in like a huge rabbit hole like on the internet, like trying to search up what the heck the grandfather killing the grandfather time theory, like all this sort of random, cool, amazing, fun stuff that is it's so interesting, but I still can't wrap my head around it because physics doesn't work for me. I'm a writer, not a physics person. But yeah, it kind of was a book that I was hoping to set. When like you're sort of sorry, you're like in when you watch my episodes or listen, you're in my mind. So I'm sorry also, just by the way, about my mind jumping around. But anyways, when as a writer, sort of you have a lot of different ideas and you end up like shelving them, putting them away. But then as soon as you get another idea that kind of like converges with a previous idea that you had that's like really rusty and old, but like you're like, oh my gosh, like that'd be really cool. And basically I had this idea. I would like to share it with you right now, just really quickly, where it's kind of set in an antique store, and there's a girl who ends up going there, and she kind of moves to the new town, goes to the antique store, and bumps into a boy, and that boy is a time traveler, and he kind of runs the antique shop, and I just kind of had that idea, but then I kind of saw a TikTok or something about like how cute people are who are like in antique stores. So then I also wanted to create more characters within that antique store. So I'm like, okay, maybe they can be like a band of time traveling like agents, from different time zones or whatever. And I think also apart from that is the fact that I have not written a book that has like a solid amount of characters. I love and I adore creating stories with only two main characters, because I think that's just my sweet spot, or even just one main character. But discluding Project Ghost, I guess that's kind of like a band, but like a band of like characters that remind me of like Percy Jackson, or those sorts of really cute like three group characters. I think I need to write a story like that, and that's why I was so thrilled to kind of have this idea, but I've realized how out of reach that sort of I'm not up to that level of writing and research and like plot developing, because of course when you deal with time travel stories it's ridiculously complicated and I don't have the brain power or research. Like I can't do it, guys, basically. Anyways, that's kind of like the last project. I guess really quickly I do want to say that I do write songs, basically. I like writing poetry. I want to also make a poetry collection. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I like to write songs, and I really hope to kind of come up with maybe like a small album sort of thing. I know I'm not professional or anything, but I don't have a good voice also. But if you may be interested in some songs, I have uploaded some songs on my channel before. If you haven't, don't check them out because my voice is terrible. It still is. As I said, don't listen to those. Don't listen to them. But I really hope to just post some songs if you guys are interested, because of course it's to do with writing. Lyrics are beautiful, and I actually hope to do some writing and some playing tonight as well, because I love my guitar. And if you guys knew, I also had like really long nails on like throughout Christmas and the New Year, so I felt so sad not being able to play my guitar, because of course you can't play guitar with acrylic nails. So finally I've ripped them all off out of pure anger just to play my guitar, and I love my little guitar. Its name's Benji, by the way. I love my little guitar. Anyways, that's the episode. Thank you so much for listening in. It seriously means the whole freaking world. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support and just like listening to me ramble, and you guys are seriously so sweet and I love you. But yeah, I hope to see you in my next episode and keep writing. Bye guys.